Welcome back. In this video, we are going to learn about strings and pattern. So we will learn what is a string, how we can store a string in a variable, how to print the string, how the strings are stored in the computer memory. Then we will work with built-in functions of string in Python. So first of all, what is a string? A string is a sequence of characters. These data structures are used to store the text. For example, like when you want to store the name of a person or want to enter the name, his address, then strings are used over here. For age, you just accept the number from the user. But in case of name and address, of course, you need text. So that text gets stored in the form of strings in programming language, same way in Python as well. So this is what a string is. Now let's see how the strings are stored in computer memory. Suppose I have created a variable s1 and I am storing my name in that. Like s1, simply I will write s1 equals to, and then I will write my name. But when I use the alphabets, then I will use the double quotes. This is how Python differentiate between numbers and text values or characters. So you can use single quotes also, double quotes also, that doesn't matter, but you have to use the quotes. Now in case I have stored my name in a variable s1, how it get stored in computer memory? It will get stored like whatever I have shown over here. And you can ask me like why it is starting with 0. It is in computer programming language or the address of an array. A string is a kind of array. So array always start with a number 0 and then it increments accordingly 1, 2, 3, 4. So my name is having 14 characters, but it will end with 13 because it is starting with 0 and the space is also counted. Right, you can see that the space is there at number 6, which is also counted because the space is also allocated a memory. Similarly, the hello world string, let's see, this is also string. So how this will be represented? Again, it is also starting with 0 and it is having 11 characters in it. So a string is a sequence of characters including the space. Then you can see that I have given some positive numbers on the top and then there are negative numbers. Now this is called indexing of the string. We have positive indexing and negative indexing. The positive indexing always start with 0 and it increments as per your length of the string. But in case of negative indexing, it starts with -1. So your last character is getting -1 and then it will increment on the left hand side. Similarly, you can say in hello world, last character is D, so it has got negative -1 and the last first character H is getting -11. So this is what we can measure. We can map the characters of a string using positive indexing and negative indexing. That we will cover in the next videos in future. But right now I'm just going to tell you that this is how it is get stored and we can refer it, we can access it using positive index and negative index. Like if I want to access the first element of my name, so I can write s1 and in the bracket I will write suppose I want to access first element, so that element, my first letter P is stored at 0 position, so I can write s1 0. Then it will give me P, or I can also write like S1 negative indexing, so I can give -14. It will again give me P, so I can use any of them, the positive indexing or negative indexing, but it will give me the same result. Now let's go over here to Python. First I will start with interactive mode. Let's say I am storing my name in a variable s1. So as I told you, it should be in double quotes. Then how to print it? I will simply write print and the variable in the bracket, and the variable is s1. So this is how I can print my name. If you want to know what are variables, I have already created a video on that. You can watch that. I will give the link in the description box as well. Now let's start with the script mode, because we have so many functions to built in functions. So I am going to use the script mode. I already created a file. Over here, the very first is the comment, which is starting with hash. So if you want to give comment which is not executable by the compiler, they are ignored by the compiler, but it is always recommended to give the comments in your program. That will help you to understand what this particular function is doing, what this module is doing, what the variables are used for, something like that, which you may forget in future. So it is always better to give the comments within the program. And then I have created one of the variable f name and one of the variable l name. F name is first name, so short name is fnm variable, which is storing my first name, and lnm is last name, which is storing my surname. And I'm removing the spaces from here. Then suppose if I want to print my first name and last name, I simply write print and in the bracket the variable which I am going to print. And if I want to print my last name as well, so I will give that as well. So this is how I can print both the variables value over here. FNM is storing Poonam and LNM is storing Rathore. So both are printed over here. This is how you can print a string. Now suppose if I want to find how many letters or many characters are there in my first name, I can do so with the help of length function. So here is the length function, len for short. Now there are two ways. This is one of the way. I will simply write print and then in bracket len is the length function, and then the variable in which is storing the string. So if I save and then run, it will give me 6. There are 6 letters in my first name. The second way to print is this again is I can store the length in a variable. Let's say I'm storing the length of my first name in a variable L, and then I can simply write len fnm, and then I can print the variable L, which is storing the length. So again it will give me the same results, right? First name is printed, then last name is printed, then first this statement is giving me 6, and then this statement is again giving me 6. So there are two ways, you can use any of them. I'm going to use the first former way, which is a short form every time. So let's see. Next we are going to find the characters in a particular string. So if I want to find whether O is existing in my name, I can simply write it as first I have to give the variable which is containing the string. So I am finding the character OO in my first name. My first name is stored in FNM, so I have taken that variable. Then dot find what do you want to find, you will write in quotes. So it will give yes, it is existing, means it is true, this is existing. But if I write E, it will give me -1. -1 means it doesn't exist, it is false. So 1 means true, -1 is false. Now next is, if you want, suppose if I have written the user has entered all letters in capital including his first name and last name. So you want to change the first letter into capital, that you can do with the help of capitalize function. In a form, user enter the number and enter his name all in small letters. So according to English grammar, the first letter should be in capital. That you can do with the help of capitalize function, like I'm going to do. Now my first name, FNM, is storing my name with all small letters. So if I want to make the first letter capitalized, I will use this letter. FNM and then capitalize. So I got my name in first letter is capital now, right? So you can make first letter capital by using the capitalize function. Then if I want to count a particular letter, how many times it is existing in my name, I can use the count function. Let's see how. Let me add Rathor over here, and then I'm going to count how many times O is existing in my name. Okay, so and I'm changing it to O. So you can see it has given me 3 because O is existing 3 times in my name in the variable FNM, which is storing my name, full name. So this is how you can count. Then if you want to start counting from a particular position, let me tell you, like if I want to find that whether Rathor is containing any letter, then I have to tell from where you have to start and where you have to end. Then you can do that, as I told you that in the string always start with 0. So accordingly, this is 0, then 1, 2, 3, 4, this is 5, then space is 6, and R, my last name is starting from R. So I can give starts from R and then end at it's 7, then 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, like this. So it is existing only one time. It has started from here and it ends over here. So over here within this, O is existing only one time, so it has given you 1. But suppose if you just give the starting position and won't give the ending position, again it will give you the result, because by default it will go to the end of the string. But what if you have given the ending of the string where you have to end, but you have not given where to start? Then it will give you error, because you must to tell where to start your search. Okay, next is, suppose if I want to suppose the string is very lengthy and you don't have to count the characters, and you don't want to count the characters, then what you can do, you can simply write length of nm. Just give the starting position and then you can simply write L length of first name. So it will take that, because give it bracket and then run. So just give the starting position, and if you don't want to count the characters in the string, you can simply write length of that particular string and then run it. So you can see it has again give you the result. Now in the next video we will learn how to see how to find out how that whether the string is containing only alphabet, or it is containing only digits, or it is containing any space. We are going to cover more. Till then, keep watching, keep learning, and subscribe.